Okay, all right. Thank you, Steven. Thank you.
Stop.
Thank you very much.
That was great.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, well, welcome to Apes of the Atomic Age, episode 2. I just want to start off with a little music. All right. Today I'm joined by 2 new people. And I'm just going to call this a shoot the shit episode because we're just shooting the shit. We have no specific topic.
We're on the phone again. Here we are. That's right.
Different setting. Recording on top of a laundry basket, so this is good.
That's right.
So I'm going to introduce everybody. I got Ben Vonderhorst here
me.
again.
Yes.
And
That's
we
how
got
it's pronounced.
Vonderhorst.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. Say how you want. We also have Riley Babbitt.
Hey.
Which is a celebrated thing to have him on the show.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long struggle. And I have my good friend Stephen Kaplan here, too, who's kind of dinging around in the background, but he'll probably chime in. He's the one that,
Oh,
Yep.
jeez.
That's him.
musician. Yeah.
He's a musician.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that.
It's good to finally meet you guys.
Yeah.
But thank you. That's right.
Well,
Thank
Yeah,
you
we
for
all know
letting
each other.
us in your house.
yes, Stephen is hosting this particular podcast today, and he's the one that played the little introduction. The reason for it, I don't have one. I just kind of...
You found it funny.
I found it funny.
You like
know,
torturing your audience.
torturing.
Torture.
Not
That
if
was
you like, that's a
wonderful.
good song.
Are you
Yeah,
kidding
it
me?
was good.
I like
It's
the
short.
quality intro.
Wow.
People
would
mean I've been doing it wrong the whole time.
What?
I've been torturing my audience this whole time.
Why
With
do you have to
that-
be such a
with good music?
misanthrope? With good music.
You mean,
yeah.
have you been playing that?
I mean, yes.
Oh,
This
Stephen, why don't you
it's
say
very good.
something about what you do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Before
sure.
you start.
Generally,
He's alive.
just tearing up my whole house. What I generally do is, actually, oh my god.
Just say it.
Just say it. I'm an extremely awkward person. But no, I
Steven
stream
is
on
very
the
awkward.
Twitch. I am a bite ear pianist.
He twitches a lot.
I twitch a lot. Yes.
By that I mean
I'm twitching right now.
You're
But what do you do in your Twitch?
quite an interesting twitcher.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
I think so anyway. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
talk about it, man.
Yeah. So what kind of stuff do you do on your Twitch stream?
I play piano by ear, so I take anyone's YouTube requests and I play them on the spot.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
I had
Yes.
no idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Quite
really
good.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't caught
Wow.
it live, but I have looked back on the logs and seen some of it.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
archives
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have
You
to-
haven't even seen it yet.
I haven't, but I mean,
Yeah, he does it
the-
right
you're
here.
you're saying it,
Yeah.
so like you're acknowledging. Oh yeah, I do it. So you're confident enough that you're good at it.
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're currently recording in his studio pretty much
That's
right
right.
now.
yeah.
So
right where the
yeah.
magic happens. Yeah,
That's really
we got
cool.
The, yeah.
I can feel the good vibes. Yeah, it's a nice, cozy setting. So yes, thank you for hosting.
Oh,
and
you're welcome.
and you
Yeah,
also
thank you.
stream like video games, right? You play video games.
I do, yes. Generally, there's that word again. Generally.
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 General.
It's a good
But-
word. That's why people use it.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not-
Very useful.
Yeah.
Generally.
But
It's a
yeah,
word.
it's whatever I need to get to playing pretty much.
Mhm.
Any of the action adventures, JRPGs that I haven't gotten around to yet.
What's the next thing you're gonna do?
Next game I'm gonna play.
Yeah, man.
I'm about to start Phantasy Star 4.
What is that?
It's a old Sega RPG.
Okay.
Sega.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then probably during that I'm gonna start Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got plans,
Yeah.
and you just live stream yourself playing, right? And you
Yep.
just kind of give commentary. And
Yeah.
you say it's always a fresh start, right? Like you never play a game you've already played. You always want it
No,
to be
I've
super
I've
fresh.
I've done several games that I've played before.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. Like Eternal Darkness, you did that
Yes,
one.
I've done Eternal Darkness and
Okay.
yeah.
Forgot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Keep doing that, man. And you're starting to get quite a few followers too. It's growing, right?
As of now, about 2,800.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good amount. I would say that's grown. Congratulations,
Yeah,
man. That's
really
great.
good.
Thank you.
And you went to TwitchCon too, right? To
I did,
meet
yes.
up with some other personalities and such.
Yeah.
I've been, I noticed the little
Oh yeah. I have my
Badge
TwitchCon
thing.
badge hanging.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
on
there's
my
a
bookshelf.
behind me. There's a bookshelf and there's a TwitchCon badge hanging. The physical evidence of the story.
Yeah.
There's a camera in here. We would have physical evidence or visual.
Yeah, I got to meet a lot of good friends at TwitchCon.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I have considered good friends on chat. But now that I've met them, I can actually, consider them good friends.
Right. And you were saying it was a very euphoric experience, right?
It was
Like
a
you were
very euphoric experience.
you guys just got drunk and had a really good time. And
Yeah, before
bonded.
I even got to the convention itself, like the night before. Yeah,
That's when the partying happened?
that was when the partying
That's
happened.
a good way to do it.
Yeah.
It's always good to get, shit-faced drunk before you're supposed to do something the day before.
Yeah.
Because it's an excuse to go out, bond further, go get some, like, shit breakfast food, IHOP or Denny's.
It was
Sponsoring your restaurants.
it was like 2 p.m.
Give me
when I
money.
even got to the convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just so shit-faced and hungover.
Oh, now I gotta talk about streaming. Oh, that's awesome, man.
Hell yeah.
So I've known Steven, a little backstory. I've known Steven for an incredibly long time, since you were a freshman, right?
Yeah, and you were a junior.
I was a junior high kid.
Or, no,
Eighth
you
grade.
were a... What did they call 80s?
Oh, they had a name for us?
Yeah, did they?
I don't know. I remember there were Sevies. You guys ever hear that when you were in...
Sevies.
Yeah,
You were born in
yeah,
seventies.
No.
What is a Sevi?
A Sevi is if you're in 7th grade.
Eighth grade,
Oh,
Yeah, creative, I
Sevies.
know. But
Oh,
it was like a derogatory term in my school. Fucking Sevies. You're looking just sitting there,
Being all Sevies and
eating those Papa Murphy's breadsticks. Yeah, it was
Was
a
it
thing.
in middle school, right?
This was in middle school.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the magic environment where Steve and I met.
Right.
Yeah.
We bonded over being nerdy in gym, of all places.
Yes!
I felt, now, you know what, looking back, I felt like we had balls. I still enjoyed PE, but I really loved seeing, like, the faces, like, because we would talk about, like, Lord of the Rings and stuff, and
Yeah.
like, really dorky stuff. Not just like, oh, yeah, they're good movies, but also, the lore of it. And, oh, man, the score was so fantastic.
Oh,
that
man.
last bit. I mean, real nerd, like, guarantee virgin for life kind of shit. It was great. And just seeing all the, like, jock dudes, like, jock by when we're nerding out like that, and they just have this, like, weird twitch, almost like they can't help, like, I gotta hurt somebody. It was fantastic. So, yeah, and it was good. And then we started just hanging out. A lot of sleepovers, man. It was a real bromance for a while. So, it was good. So, yeah, he's a wonderful, talented individual. He's helped me out countless times. I owe him a huge debt, and it's great to have him here. He's kind of working on other things, but the cool thing is we're actually in such close proximity. He's just part of the podcast now, so thank you again for hosting us.
Yeah.
And and cool thing, folks, he's storyboarding right now for a comic we're working on together. So he does all sorts of shit. This guy's really kind of jack of all trades, or he's at least aspiring to just try everything, and I think that's really cool.
Super
Yeah.
cool.
So mad respect, man. Glad to have you on the show. Anyways, yeah, no problem. I wanted to groom that beard for a bit.
It's true, I am rocking a year-and-a-half-old beard right now.
Quite a substantial period.
Yeah, a fluffy Rasputin, I'm gonna call
A
it.
year and a half. There I go, like exaggerating. A year and a month. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I want to understand, and this is, I feel really dumb. I feel like I'm kind of culturally out of the funk, but I know this is years ago. The whole Movember thing. Where you,
Oh,
where you-
Movember. Yeah, I never really.
How?
Like, what's that again?
It's for prostate cancer, apparently,
Is
right?
it?
Is it to
Oh.
raise awareness?
Yeah, I
Right.
wasn't aware of
What-
that immediately either. I found
Okay.
out that
Yeah,
later
no, it's
as
to
well.
raise awareness for prostate cancer.
Gotcha.
It's just to
Well,
raise awareness, or
I forget, yeah, I don't entirely understand the etymology behind it, but
like I don't know if
It's-
people sold like their mustache hairs at the end of it. and
What,
plus
Yeah.
what
it's
is
money
wanted
or
to try it
something
out.
for the
Sold
foundation.
it.
what is Movember?
You grow a mustache.
Basically, yeah. You
Yeah.
grow a mustache in November.
In November, you grow a mustache.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the
you
that's
like shave
the
and then you
base
grow a
part of
mustache.
it, yeah.
It's for prostate cancer?
To
Apparently,
raise
yeah.
awareness,
Wouldn't it?
apparently. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting. I was thinking about facial hair and like all the kind of like weird modern cultural facial hair wars, like yeah, we're doing Movember.
There's
and-
facial hair
yeah.
wars?
Not really wars, but it's just there's different causes associated with facial hair. Or maybe it's just the swan I'm
There
pulling
was-
the rest out of my
I
ass.
can't think of another
Yeah,
one.
I don't
Crap,
think there's
it's
any
just
wars. I
Movember.
think you just want to have a war, maybe.
I would love to have a facial hair war.
Apparently, there was a study recently that showed women prefer men with full beards, and then
I saw that.
underneath that is men with not fully shaved, but like put together beards, and then underneath that is people who are shaved.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
So, facial hair is making a comeback.
Wow, good.
Which is pretty good.
Wow.
Is this like a study someone did recently, just going around asking people, like, what do you prefer?
Well, I don't think it was to that level. It was more, credible.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the source, but I forget
The
where I heard it.
opinions of the people are not credible.
Oh my
Really?
god.
I mean,
Yeah.
how else do you get the information? You can't read people's minds, right? You got,
Okay,
I mean,
alright.
you think any
Alright,
kind of
okay,
study is like,
jeez.
my
How is it done, Riley?
Yeah, it was asked, but like it wasn't just some random guy being like, "Hey, I don't have a girlfriend and I have a full beard."
I mean, it has to be.
Is that
specific.
Yeah, that was a
What's
random
the
guy.
difference
I'm just
between-
asking. Yeah.
What's the difference between some?
You're just trying to start a fight
Is
here.
this person-
You're accusing me of trying to start a facial hair war. You're trying to start a war right here.
I've already won.
That's true.
See, yeah.
yeah.
All right, you got the
Yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
beard. It kind of does go in
It does kind of. I mean,
Order.
I have the least beard. I have
Yep.
a little chin beard going.
A little-
on.
little shaggy.
A little shaggy. Yeah, I kind of look like Shaggy, I guess.
And then Riley kind of has like a
You really
mustache
do.
with like a
You really
soul
do.
patch that goes down to this Fabergé egg.
It's like
or
a
bottom
goat.
of
It's like a
Fabergé egg.
goatee that. It's like a goatee with a tail.
with a creeping.
It's like a little hill. It's like a hairy little hill, just like sticking off your chin.
Or
Love it.
upside down hill.
Yeah, an
What is it
upside
called?
down hill.
Oh, okay.
And then yeah, Steve just has like a full Rasputin.
He's a mountain.
It's pretty big.
I'm a hill and you're a mountain.
It goes down far and it spreads
You're a
out.
cascade.
Yeah.
And then Kevin, you're a meadow, I think.
I'm a
That's what
meadow?
I- Yeah, a meadow, like a rolling meadow.
Your facial hair just kind of
Yes.
outlines.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Oh yeah.
You can just imagine animals grazing on it. I like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We can all feel good about ourselves here. Well, I'm glad to start out optimistic.
Starting out with good feelings.
Absolutely.
About our face hair.
So, anyone have an interesting story from themselves, personal experience, or just something that you've been thinking about? Something you want to get off your chest?
Well,
Uh-oh.
so
Oh.
Oh boy.
I listened to the podcast.
Oh, the last podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We could definitely.
We might as well
Drive
just
off
go
that
back
one.
into that, sticking on the topic of podcast.
Let's do it.
I was never sent that, you bastard.
Oh,
You son of a bitch.
Shit, I forgot. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
Well,
I'll
let
give
me,
it to you.
Allow
Alright,
me to
I'll give it to you.
recap.
Immediately after.
Okay.
Who cares?
we will
So,
send
I'm kidding.
Yeah, if Kevin's not going to do it, then please.
Actually, you want to do a recap? You the host. You...
Recap.
Well, if you
of
had
this
it on
whole
your mind,
story?
you could go.
I
for
only
it.
have.
'Cause-
I
'cause
have.
we
really
I
remember
have
that in
two
last
notes.
episode?
What?
I have.
There's too many people talking at once. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, you recap of the whole thing. Talk about the whole.
The main points. Well, yeah.
We can do that. Yeah, I know we always talk about going. So
You introduced it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, last time I introduced, I gave a really small introduction, but yeah, funny enough, I did actually mention Riley might want to talk about
Yeah.
the backstory
Yeah.
of the podcast. So
yeah.
okay, here we are.
You know,
It's a
that's-
topic.
that's best. Yeah.
Here's the reason why I wrote some notes. Is the beginning of it. You guys were like, so the name of it is Apes of the Atomic Age, and it's had some controversy in the past, but we'll talk about that later. And you never got to it.
That's true.
That's true.
And I think
Well,
it's for the best. Because
later.
I think it's for the best because really it's
I
a
was
conversation
talking
we
too
should
much at that
have.
point.
I think it's for the best because really it's a conversation we should all three of us should have because
Yeah.
because it all started with us talking about it on
Yeah.
a trail
Yeah.
near a river. So you know,
It's a good river.
It was a good river, good walk, really good conversation.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the origin really. So yeah. So I think it's best that we talk about it. So.
We should start with that. Start with the river, man.
Okay, yeah.
That was
So-
pretty.
So we all meet up after work to talk about the name of the well, not just the name of the podcast, but the
whole
podcast,
thing.
the whole
Yeah, the
podcast
thing
in
itself.
general. Like how are we gonna do it? When are we gonna do it? And then the topic of the name came up, and basically Kevin just decided that it was
Nicely put.
that the name of the podcast was going to be Apes of the Atomic Age, which I was fine with the name.
Well, not at first.
Not at first, because I thought we were going to have more of a discussion.
Mhm.
And Riley, how did that make you feel? When we-
Yeah, I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't like the
definitely.
name. I was like, this name sucks.
Right. And I was trying to play devil's advocate and also
Yeah.
just kind of bridge the gap between it,
It was
sucks
total
and,
devil's advocate. That was great because
Yeah.
all the time beforehand you were like, yeah, okay, well, you know, I mean, I'll think about it. Maybe it'll grow on me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it will. Maybe it won't.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
suddenly when Riley just says, "Fucking hate this name,"
Then
then Ben just like
I just-
whoop,
yeah, I kinda,
switches gears
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was continue. That was good though.
Yeah, I kind of find it fun to be to contradict people sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
A little bit.
Yeah,
and I'm so,
having worked with you.
so-
you do.
I'm so grateful that I've met people that have the patience for that. And I,
Yeah.
and I,
I think one a little more than the other. but I'm working
okay.
on it.
All right. I know I got to tone it back sometimes, but
That's good.
I think we still had a good conversation.
Yeah,
It didn't get too
I liked
heated. Yeah, and yeah. So your stance was it sucks, and I tried to play devil's advocate. God, it was a while ago. I don't remember exactly.
The whole
Yeah, you wanna?
the whole like disagreement and yeah, I guess the whole disagreement and argument about the entire thing was just how we were looking at it, because I was looking at it at the time very much as like okay, this is a podcast that you want to put on the internet. How are we going to sell it?
Yeah.
How are people going to get interested in it?
Right.
And also I was fighting the concept of we are apes, which was your guys' like big point, which is, yeah, we're calling it Apes of the Atomic Age because one, the age is the atomic one by its science. That's how they describe it.
It is a way to describe the modern age.
Yeah, and then apes as that's how we are. we are apes.
Which that was a whole nother conversation. But before we get to that,
Hey, I am not an ape.
oh, here we go. Well,
Sorry.
That-
Forgot about his viewpoints. Well, that's okay. It's good to have multiple perspectives. It's
jeez.
healthy.
I wasn't gonna get into that yet, but we could if you want.
What?
The
Okay.
whole apes part.
Yeah, why not?
'Cause-
Some people are probably going to say that. Yeah.
I think it was more entertaining for me than it would
Yeah.
be for a bunch of strangers listening who don't know who we are.
Yeah.
Because it was
Yeah.
I was cracking up mostly because it became a goddamn tennis match. You guys were beating the same point
Yeah.
back and forth, and it just kept going.
It did.
And it got so loud.
Yeah.
And there was this one funny moment where like we realized there were like almost no people around, and Riley just stopped in his anger for a moment and to make a joke and go, I think we scared everyone away. Because you guys were pretty animated. You were pretty
Yeah.
loud. Like
Yeah.
it was. And
Yeah.
I said nothing.
No,
I had
man.
nothing to
That was
say.
the most quiet I've ever seen.
It was, yeah, I'm
You were just
full of
watching the
wind.
show.
enjoying it. I think, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
stimulating.
But
So,
I think
yeah, it was-
to reel it back a little bit. I think what helped me do that 180 and be on the side of the name was when you started talking about marketing, because I don't know, I definitely gut reaction am opposed to doing things just based around marketing, and I know
Right.
yeah.
I am too.
Well, yeah, right, but and I know that wasn't your only point, but
Right.
because you also just didn't like it, man.
Well, I think I was just
Front
writing.
and foremost, yeah.
I think I was just writing hard on, it's a podcast. People want to listen to it. Blah blah blah. So, and also the fact that I didn't understand the name. So
Okay.
I think it was just
and I think the conversation definitely helped us.
yeah.
I did because one misunderstanding that I thought about it you had, which actually I haven't chewed on it, made me realize like, yeah, actually that makes sense coming out of it. Apes of the Atomic Age, when we explain it, that it's just people having conversations. We might have some episodes that are subjects, some not, but the name does kind of sound like it could imply a topic.
Right.
Right? Is it going to be about history? Is it going to be about anthropology? Like what?
either about apes, anthropology, history, or like
Yeah.
atomic stuff like nukes
Right.
and such.
And I'd love to talk about that stuff, when there's the right time for it. Because like one thing, when I listened back to my the first episode, what I really didn't like about it is I was talking way too goddamn much, and Ben wasn't saying enough. And that's not the fault of Ben. The thing is, I was just going off on certain. We picked a topic and we kind of went into areas where we're not both familiar, right? So like it just kind of kept Ben quiet, and I'm just railing off. It's like, all right, I got to stop that. Like from now on, and it was a good lesson. I still enjoyed it, but like it's like, yeah, it needs a lot of work, and that's why this is kind of a fun process to learn with every step. Because yeah, now I'm having a lot more fun actually just not having a direction with you guys. But if I want to have a specific conversation, I find that fucking person, I put them on the show.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure, yeah.
So that really got me excited actually. So because I like just having bullshit rounds like this with you guys. It's a lot of fun. It's very organic,
Listening to it myself, I was like, man, I'm kind of glad I wasn't there because I don't
No
know
idea.
anything.
Yeah.
I know.
Never read the Jungle Book. I don't know anything about history. Oh,
See, and
God.
that's not good. That wasn't good. Not for an introductory one. So if people
fine.
stuck through it, then thank you. I'm just saying I'm grateful. I'm not trying to over shit on my own work, but it's good to find the holes in your own work and then try to fill them up, right? Like if you just say everything is fine and surround yourself with yes men, you don't get anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's why I did really appreciate that night when you were being fully honest. You know, like I wanted the name down, so I just kind of put the foot down, but I was still willing for the discussion, and we had it. I was just trying to figure out what the problem was, and I didn't think about that at the time. Like, yeah, it does sound topical, you know.
Now, how I am now, like I think I like the name now.
Oh, you
like
do?
I've
what?
totally,
What's
I've
going
totally
on,
switched.
Oh,
It's a good name.
shit.
I like it just because, yeah,
That's nice.
not thinking about the marketing aspect of it or blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's a unique name.
It is unique.
Thank you.
That's interesting. I like that. It catches the listener's eye.
Your eye.
The
Yeah.
ear eye. Yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate that,
The
man. Thank
elusive
you.
ear eye.
Shut up. But yeah, it's interesting. I like it.
Cool.
Definitely.
I appreciate
cool.
that.
Ah, good
Oh,
vibes.
man,
That's
how-
warms my heart.
All this self-fluffing
cockles
about
of the
this
heart.
own podcast that
Warm.
we're doing. This is such a good podcast.
No.
Oh,
It's
man.
just that the change of heart was kind of touching. You know. I don't know. Let's make sure we're still recording.
Yeah,
We're still
yeah.
recording,
Okay,
folks.
I just get I'm getting paranoid. After failing so many times.
Here's another
So
part.
many
So
tech
this is a long
here we
epic
go.
actually. So of the podcast. So we actually
5 months in the making.
yeah
Took the first fucking
time.
episode.
Oh my god.
because we couldn't get our shit together. Still not really, but at least we're getting it down now. We're getting
Definitely.
Yeah.
as
So
in
we have
literally
we have a
recording
potential
something.
workaround that we figured out, right?
Yeah. So you guys tried it once before with just you and Ben.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah.
work.
Fail.
And so then you were like, "Hey Riley, can you help?" So I came down. This was like one weekend down. The second weekend, I came down. I couldn't get it to work. The third weekend, I came down with stuff, and I
Stuff.
couldn't get it to work.
Well, almost, right? I think at that point we could get 2 microphones.
We could get 2 microphones,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the
Which
third
I-
one couldn't work, and then it's like, well,
Yeah, so we said,
who cares?
screw it.
Yeah.
One more time, screw it. So that was the third screw.
Yeah.
And then this was the next time, last time we tried. And,
Yeah.
and then we did record.
How couldn't you do it?
I don't know the
At the
stuff.
very beginning of
I
the
don't know the
podcast, I was like, I was laughing because I was like, how couldn't they do it?
Look, I don't know. There was clicks, and I don't know.
I mean, you plug them in.
I did.
You plug one cable, another cable.
I did. Two cables
and then you plug. I don't know.
into a computer.
Man, it's been a while. I don't even know what the setup is anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
Goddamn mess. It was fun.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I would like that setup to work because the way we had it set up was we were kind of. I mean, we did it last time with just
that
with
was
the
so
phone. But yeah, we had like like this couch and these chairs just kind of like cornered near my window.
We'll do it. We're
We'll
gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
But we had
I
like a
will fix
banana
it.
tree
Yeah.
leaning
Yeah, I
over,
love
you
the
know, and
banana
it's
tree.
just you got the bookshelf of all this stuff. I don't know. It was just a really cozy environment. So yeah, we'll definitely get it to work there properly. We got these nice mics. We just haven't really recorded with them yet. We will when we stop being idiots. So yeah, it's been a long time coming, and
Yes, indeed.
I know life intervenes
Mm-hmm.
for everybody individually, right? Lots happen. So
Yeah, and we had the holidays come up, you know.
yeah.
Christmas. Yeah. How was your guys' Christmas?
Mine was pretty uneventful. I went to get dim sum
Yeah.
with some friends in Seattle. Yeah.
Is that a tradition or?
No, it just my whole family life's kind of all over the place right now because I got a mom who's moving back to Europe, like I discussed with you earlier, and because of that, we're just gonna have to like really quick rush. Like this house she's lived in for 15 years, so I'm like everything's got to get the hell out, right?
Oh yeah.
She made quite a bit of money selling stuff, but it was still like, a hassle trying to get all that shit done. So she still had to empty the house before Christmas, so we just didn't do Christmas. Like, hey guys, just
Oh,
want to
wow.
get together for dinner on New Year's and just combine the two. And everyone was like, yeah, fuck it. Everyone's life was kind of all over the place. Everyone was thrilled not to do Christmas.
Yeah.
But when it came to Christmas Day, what do you know? I had nothing to do. So some friends called me up and we wanted to go out to dinner, and Chinese restaurants are always open. We went to a really nice one in Columbia City. I can't remember the name. Probably because there's no sign.
Oh.
It's kind of a weird building.
Oh.
You think you're gonna go into like a bank from the 80s, it's like this is really drab gray outside with like black windows, and then you open up and it's like a Shanghai palace all of a sudden, like it's beautiful, like
That's
red
cool.
floors, mirrored ceilings, all
I
these
love
cool
that.
chandeliers,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
I love
It
that.
smells amazing in there. Like the first wall you see is just full of like crustaceans and fish, all the stuff that they kill there and serve there.
Yeah.
And they just, and everyone that works there, most of them don't speak English except for like the main waiters, but it doesn't matter because it's dim sum. It's amazing. You just go in with a card and you just check off what you want. They come by, they pick it up. So we're there for like 4 hours, just kind of hobbiting it, like having one meal, taking a long break, then having another one. It was so good.
Nice.
Yeah, super food. So that was my Christmas.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to copy that.
That's pretty it's dead quiet, man. Everywhere it's like the apocalypse. There's almost no one on the streets in Columbia City. So, so dead quiet. Open the door, bustling Chinese restaurant. It was great.
I
Yeah.
love a transformation like
Yep.
that. That's fantastic.
Oh, it was Harry Potter like. I found Diagon Alley. Yeah.
I know.
Was it like the Christmas Story?
Yeah, I still
Where you
haven't
have, like,
seen
the-
that movie.
Oh yeah, no, you haven't.
Yeah, I haven't. And that's the weird thing. I'm finally no longer afraid to admit that I haven't seen A Christmas Story.
Is that the one with the kid and he
Yeah.
gets his tongue stuck?
Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
part.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's all I know about it too.
You'll shoot your eye
Oh,
out,
and the
kid, yeah.
lampshade.
And yeah,
The sexy, like, lampshade.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
Okay, I've seen parts of that, but I have not seen the whole thing.
You know,
Yeah.
I think I have seen the whole thing, and I can't for the life of me remember the story. I think it's just a kid who has Christmas, and that's it. And
Pretty
then
much.
look at these silly things.
Christmas movies have a weird way of becoming like infinite classics without really knowing why.
Just because
I kind of feel that way about Home Alone, because I'm a victim. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I have no idea why.
Yeah.
I really don't understand why every year, like I'll go home to the family for Christmas, and my mom will always want to watch it, and I'm always like frustrated, like, God, man, Home Alone again, sick of this shit. But the moment she puts it in and that music starts, I'm like, oh well, it's kind of comforting.
Oh yeah, this is familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's almost religious. It just brings you into this weird brainwashed state where it's like, I like it.
Yeah.
Our family is that way with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Seems like every
year.
family has a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
That just pulls them in. Does your family have one?
Yeah, we do Christmas Carol.
Christmas
we have
Carol?
We have
Uh-huh.
4 different Christmas carols, with all the way from Patrick Stewart to the Muppets.
Muppets.
To,
Yes.
That's my favorite one.
Mine too.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay. Yep, Muppets. Fantastic.
But it's cool. You got a variety, so it's
Yeah.
like it's one of these Christmas carols.
Yeah, yeah.
What's it gonna
But
be?
as soon as you put it in, you sit down, you watch it, have a good time.
Did you guys ever do a Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey?
One?
No, we don't have that one. No.
That's good.
I want to watch the black and white one more though. I haven't seen that in a while.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it. It looks very nice. Yeah.
The Christmas Carol?
Yeah, there's a black and white.
Yeah,
Christmas
which
Carol.
one? Alistair Sim or George C. Scott?
You'd have to tell me.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
remember
like
which one
two
it's Yeah. Oh, just reach for some apricots.
Yeah, sorry. There's a bowl of dried apricots here now.
My bad.
I probably occasionally you just hear like me suddenly getting inconsistently louder for a moment, and I just kind of come back. It's because I'm reaching for these really good dried apricots,
Hell yeah.
and they're just sitting next to Riley. It's perfect actually that they're sitting next to the person who thinks they're disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't
They're safe
think they're
doing that.
disgusting. I just don't like them.
Riley,
I put them in my mouth, and it's like, don't like it, and it's okay. I don't hate apricots. I just don't like to eat them. When I put them in my mouth, they taste bad, and I put them
Riley,
out.
we talked about this. This is your damn temper coming through.
Oh my
again.
god, this is the irrational anger that's inside you. Okay.
No, it was bullshit.
Jeez.
I was encouraging him to do this shit. Now I'm telling him not
Yeah,
to.
okay. So, for a little, what's the word?
Bit.
Backstory. A little
Oh.
backstory. I think last week I was driving, and my laptop was being repaired in Seattle, and after work, I had to drive a friend home who lives in Bellevue. So, none of this makes sense if you don't live here. Anyway, on my way to go to Seattle after I drop my friend off, there's so much fucking traffic. And like, I've grown up here for a long time, my whole life basically. So I went to school from elementary school throughout high school, and I remember being in elementary school and having to walk home and everything, and just the traffic then was, they're not as bad as it is now.
Right.
It's definitely not as bad. So like, and I'm not one who hates traffic. I don't care. I love driving. I don't get mad when I'm driving. Very, very, very rarely I do. But this particular day, I was just like, God, there's so much fucking traffic. I don't want to go into Seattle. And so I pull out my phone and I start ranting, which I hadn't done in months, maybe a year. Like, full-on rant. and I used to do it a lot, and then it
Yeah, you
became
sent some to me.
yeah. Then
just in a voicemail, just rant and rant. I think you've sent me like 30-minute voicemails.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
The pinnacle point of my ranting career was I was having dinner with my friend Darby in some place, and we had sushi, and it was around 11 o'clock midnight, and I was in the middle of the street just ranting like to the top of my lungs, just going crazy, and I'm like, it was fun, don't get me wrong, I loved it, but I don't know if I want to be that. I don't know if I want to just go full on rant, and so I tried, pulling it back and done it.
Well, it's definitely in the moment thing.
Yeah. There's a place and time for it for sure.
Yeah, but it's
you
not
don't
all the
plan
time.
for it.
And
No.
that was the problem. It was just all the time, 100%. So, but
I think it's really fun to watch and listen to you get unhinged because you don't stop. There's no barrier. You're just it just comes out like
it's a stream.
flood.
It's a flow. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
just,
and
stream
it's
of consciousness.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
wonderful.
stream, yeah.
So when you were kind of sitting there like, I'm not sure if I want to go
Well,
into
yeah,
that
yeah,
tonight. I'm
it
like,
was-
well, please do. The only thing you have to do is see it as an exercise to kind of like control it.
Exactly.
And what you were just doing is fine. That's just me wanting to be an asshole.
I
But
know,
like,
I know. I like bringing it out every once in a
yeah,
while.
no, I like it too. It's
think
good. And you do. I mean, he did this recording where he was bitching about people in not like, cyclists not cycling in bike lanes.
Bikers riding in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Like
thinking their cars. As you put
everyone's done
Um,
it. I get it.
No,
but-
yeah, no, everyone's mad about it. I get it, but it was really good. It had a unique Riley stamp of quality to it. I don't know, and I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was pretty clean. It was you didn't say anything too ridiculous. I mean, it was all true. Your anger was just fucking hilarious. And
At the end of it, I was like, "Fuck, oh god, I just ranted. I don't know if I should do it again because I liked it.
Oh.
Maybe I should
You got
like
another taste.
Exactly. It's like I gotta keep this under control. So I think that's where I'm at now because I had the taste. I want to do it again, but
Yeah.
I gotta keep it under control. Keep the reins in.
exactly, keep that
So-
bull pent in.
Yeah.
Let him out when he's ready.
Just let him out anytime I see an apricot, just a little bit. Just like fucking apricots. I don't hate them. Just don't like them.
Think of like a bullfighting analogy, right? Like your crazy rants are like the bull, right? And the matador, it's dangerous for the matador, right? Because the bull's like at full strength, huge chance it's gonna kill him, right? It's just uncontrollable power. So that's why they bleed the bull a little bit. They beat the shit out of it. They tase the balls. They get all amped up and tired, and then they let it out. That's what you got to do with your anger. You got to abuse the shit out of it and just kind of like neuter it down a little bit. The fight is still there, but it's kind of dying. So it's
Yeah,
relaxed.
yeah.
It's accepting that it's gonna go, and then sure enough, the bull gets slaughtered. People get some entertainment, and
Yeah.
And some fresh cuts of meat.
yeah,
Young. And that's what I've been trying
it's
to
kind
do.
of a fucked up way to explain that, but
Yeah.
they eat the bull, right?
They eat
I
the.
think so.
I hope so.
I'm
because
pretty sure.
I think that's pretty bullshit. I would actually like to. I mean, it's a dick move either way, but at least if you're gonna have a bullfight, make it fair. I think that'd be entertaining.
Make it fair.
Make it fair.
How do
Like
you- How?
don't stun them. Don't bleed them out. Don't do any of that
So
stuff.
I
Just
didn't
let
know.
them.
I played along when you were saying that. I didn't know any of that happened.
That is literally what they do. It's cheating, man. They weaken the shit out of the bull before they let it out.
I thought
you know
they
how
just.
fucking strong and fast, like
Yeah.
fully charged healthy bull is.
Makes
Yeah.
sense,
Yeah, not one you can win with a freaking little stick.
yeah.
I
I guess that's why there's so many people feeling, comfortable enough to be in the streets, to
Right.
be there so close to it. That's if they didn't do that, that'd be,
And even then,
a
it
few
still
more
goes wrong.
fatalities. Oh yeah.
There's a video where a guy he misses and the ball goes right for him. Horn goes right through his
Yeah,
chin, out
yeah.
of his cheek.
I've seen video. I've seen a lot of videos of the bulls kind of opportune horn placement, timing.
Pretty nice. I don't know.
A little satisfying to watch
Yeah, it's
that?
very
Okay.
satisfying
All right.
because it's a bullshit system. I made the analogy. People don't know me. There's probably some PETA folks out there like, why would you use that? Like, for the record, I love animals, folks. But come on, you can make.
You
a
love
joke.
animals more than most people.
I don't know that. I don't know.
Well,
Most
okay,
people
maybe
think.
not. Yeah, maybe not.
But I do love them. Yeah.
There are some people who love them to an obsessive degree.
And we were talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that just don't have them on their mind at all. So I think, yeah.
At all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something. to consider.
Yeah.
And that's all I ask of people. Is like, you know, I think, because I do think a lot of animal lovers do get, in a sense, in a extremist mindset, and they're kind of too hard on people. You know, I just think it's basics. It's a simplified. Don't be a dick. Just be considerate. You know, it's something that's living. It's got nerve endings. You heard it. It's kind of a dick move. You know, stuff like that. And and then with bullfighting, it's just, no pun intended, but it's bullshit. I mean, you weaken the animal, and then it's just almost a guaranteed victory, right?
That was a bad pun.
And it was intended.
It was so intended. Oh,
I know.
God. Sorry. Okay.
Anyways.
I don't know anything about bullfighting. I just thought they have
I've
a
only
bull.
seen videos.
Yeah, I thought they just have a bull in a thing and a guy with a red tarp cape, and they just kind of wiggle it, and then they hope to not get hit. And I don't know what happens then. Like,
It just tires them out, right?
really?
They just
do it for a few
It gets
times
their
and then-
attention when they wave, and then they run towards it, and they pull back, and they stab, and they generally just kind of tire it out and bleed it out. Yeah.
Wait, are they actually fighting the bull?
Yeah, they're actually killing the bull.
Okay,
That's why they call it bullfighting.
I thought it's just like
Sorry.
I don't piece these things together, man. I thought it was just like bull evading, like run away from the bull for as long as you can.
Then it'd be called bull evading.
Well, no, because it sounds bad.
You just
But
stand,
that's
just stand
bad.
right in front of a bull with a cape, you know, just here.
Well, that's
I'm gonna be
what I
stupid
thought.
like this,
I thought people are just dumb and they just want to see a guy run away from a bull.
Well, there is the argument to be made that it might be kind of dumb. So it's,
That's dumb in general. I mean, and there is actually
fight the bull.
there
What's
is
the point?
a humane version of bullfighting that's similar to that, where they put ribbons on the horns and on the tail, right? And they just let random participants, like, you know, sign up early. They get in this ring, and everyone just jumps in the bullpen. This bull is not weakened or stunned or anything. This bull is fully amped, and you got to try to like get tags from it and run into safety.
Oh God.
Which is actually a lot more fun to watch because, and you have more respect for those people because that's terrifying. Like they're just, all right.
What happens to the bull after? They don't need it, right?
No.
Is it just
They
just like goes back?
let
to
him
the-
chill back in his pen. Yeah,
back to being a bull.
back to being a bull. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it does, you know, and there's like the running of the bulls. They don't hurt bulls for that either. That's just get the hell out of the way, which I've always wanted to see. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the videos most I've seen. Is
the running of the bulls.
Running of the bulls.
It's like tying a ribbon to a gun and like trying to pull the ribbon off the gun before he shoots you.
Pretty much.
Nice
It's still
analogy. I
stupid,
like
but you know,
that. That's good.
if you want to be stupid, but cruelty-free stupid, and that's the way you can do it, you know. Or you can be.
could argue it's in a pin and you.
Yeah, either way, and you're amping the bull up, you know, and it's stressed, and you know,
That's true. That's true.
it's an endless battle.
Yeah,
But I think it's inconsiderate. I myself have not participated in anything like this. The worst I participated in for a while, when we first moved to the States, we lived in Colorado, and I got into rodeo for a bit.
In regards to like animal cruelty,
I didn't know this.
is that what we're talking about?
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you about
No, I didn't.
my rodeo days. I mean, it was just like
Rodeo
junior
days.
rodeo stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like
Did you wear chaps?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We had the whole freaking Custer set up.
nice.
Cowboy boots.
All right.
But yeah,
Did
you
you
know.
have your pistols?
No, I didn't have any pistols, man. Come on, it was rodeo. It was serious stuff. That's why we have clowns that get attacked by animals.
Did you do that?
No.
Okay.
No, it was just a lot of like wrestling calves to the ground, and you know,
Okay. Stuff to make you feel manly.
I guess so.
I mean.
I just didn't like doing it after a while. I was like, this is work.
Oh, gotcha. It turned into work.
And kind of felt bad for the goats, you know. I know they didn't like it. You know, like you don't hear it when you're in the audience. Everyone go, yeah. You tied up the goat or the calf, but like, you know, you actually do that. You put your weight on the calf, and you just hear that poor fucking going like, and it's a baby, and you know, you're like, I'm abusing a baby right now. So it didn't take long before I was like, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, so I never got. But my friend Dominic, he stayed with it, and he got really impressively far. Mm-hmm. Like he was actually doing the stunts on Mustangs when he got older.
Oh,
you know,
shit.
like where they're all buckled up and uncomfortable. See, that's another thing that's not nice. Why those Broncos buck? Mm-hmm. It's because they got them like really like this like belt tied around them that pushes on their liver and makes them really uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. So they're constantly trying to kick off that pressure. That's why they're like that.
Oh.
Didn't know that.
So yeah, no, none of it's nice. But, you know,
It's
I
all
mean...
staged.
Yeah, I mean, I even think reality TV is human abuse, honestly.
That's a good. Oh yeah.
Because it is, because you're exploiting people's vulnerabilities and capturing it on camera so some sick fuck at home can get entertained by this bullshit while they're eating their ice cream. It's like, well, man, I just love, people's addiction to watching people fail in life, right? They don't, if it was a reality TV show of, like, say it was a reality TV show of all of us here, and it's just us getting along all the time, I wouldn't invest in that. I want to get my money back. That wouldn't work, right? You need people who are going to tear each other apart, who are manipulative, right? So it's just being entertained by shitty people.
That's why
who
Seinfeld
want to
did
bring
so
each other
well.
down. True, but at least that was satire and fake.
Yeah,
You know, and reality
true,
TV like
that's
is
true.
arguably a lot of it's fake, but they still do like stage the situations where they get people.
They make it look real and it's supposed to feel real.
And the fact that people want it, they want to see that stuff just crumble down. But yeah, that's a good point with Seinfeld too, even in our sitcoms. You know, like the Dick Van Dyke Show. We love seeing that idiot abuse himself all over the place. You know, people just laughed. Slapstick used to be funny for the longest time. It was just
Man.
people getting hurt.
I miss slapstick.
I do too.
So sweet.
Reality TV though, I don't. Well, it's still around, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But seriously,
yeah.
like when they follow, like, you know, just the venomous, like, I don't know, the way it just kind of creeps in on people. Like they always follow some like dying star, right? It's like, oh man, Hulk Hogan's in deep shit. Let's do a reality TV show on his family. Did the same thing to Clint Eastwood. It's like, oh, he said some controversial racist
Really?
things. Let's follow his family around. Yeah, there was an Eastwood show,
Man,
and you know, and like it's not like, oh, these poor people, they're signing the dumb contracts to do it, but it still is like, we want to see that. Why? Why do we want to see?
It's a little
Well,
sadistic.
It
isn't
is sadistic.
It's a bit,
Yeah, this is what happens when you get rid of the Coliseums.
It's probably part of our human ego too. Yeah.
At least control the population.
It's probably part of our human ego too.
Yeah.
It's like we want, we want to see ourselves higher,
Exactly.
so we can watch these people fail
Yep.
and feel good about it.
Yep.
Feel good about ourselves.
That's exactly how I feel when I watch the Maury Pavlich show.
Yeah.
Because it's like, or Jerry Springer or any of that shit. Like, let's bring these fucking losers out here. And the audience, I mean, they might as well be stowing, like be in medieval garb, throwing fucking, like, rotten potatoes and rocks, like, freak, peasant! You know, because that's what it is. That's all it is. Like, let's look at this fucked up family, and they're cheating, and they're fucked up.
Let's yell at him. And
Yeah,
at him.
exactly. They'll just, like, Jerry will be like, he'll just ask some spark question, right? Like, oh yeah, what's it gonna give him to fight? Ask that, and then there's just the audience reacting. And then, like, dipshits, they go up there like, oh, well, Shannon from Chicago has something to say, and then she gets the mic in her face, you know, and it's just cruelty. Like, no one has anything nice to say.
Yeah.
For these people, they don't even know,
Yeah.
you know?
See,
It's sadistic.
It's kind of sick.
I've never thought about any of that. One, because I don't watch TV.
Good for you.
But also, it's like, I don't
Yeah.
care about these people.
I mean, nor
Like,
do
No,
you.
I don't either.
that's-
That's not the
I
point.
know,
I know. It's like
The point is that people want that.
Yeah,
You're
a
right.
lot of people-
I don't
It
give a
doesn't
shit
make
either.
sen-
But
I don't get
people
it.
want it. You know, and it's questionable
Why?
that they want it. That's why. That's what I'm saying. That's why they want it, because it's shit TV, but it's like Steven said, it's an ego fanning. You can feel better about yourself seeing Joe dipshit on Jerry Springer make a fuck of himself on screen of all these people yelling, but you're sitting like, yeah, I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so
You know,
weird.
It makes the bar you sitting on a couch.
Yeah.
You know, if you
oh God,
That's true though.
that's so.
And this is why
that's so well
society is
put.
crumbling. Oh God.
yeah.
Yeah.
At least I'm not that crazy. I'm just sitting here.
Drowning in fucking Cheetos.
Oh god.
I accomplished something.
I'm not yelling at my wife.
Oh, that makes me feel. That makes me feel so bad.
A little bit, yeah.
It makes
I
me feel
remember-
bad, but
yeah.
also good that I'm not that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, at some point, I think we all make a choice to not do that. Like, I remember clearly being a kid, sitting on my dad's couch, watching Murray, right? With Murray.
Oh God,
Maury.
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 Yeah. Oh my god. And I've seen, I watched it a couple times, and each time, you get engrossed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then at a certain point, I saw my dad sitting there with me too, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching it.
It's the same shit, different day.
I'd rather watch the
a
cartoons,
huge
man.
waste
I don't
of
wanna-
life, yeah.
Let's go change this to Cartoon Network. I don't want to watch Maury anymore. Yeah.
And there were so many of those shows, man. Like I swear, like morning network '90s television and '80s just fed on that shit.
It's so funny that parents would say, "Oh, those cartoons are gonna rot your brain. Here, sit down and watch some quality TV. Watch these families stand in front of hundreds of people while they boo at them because they had
Right.
a baby."
That
Yeah.
would be an odd statement. Yeah.
Like it's
That's strange.
I don't know. You can learn some shit from cartoons.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I mean, there's some, strong
Talking
moral
about-
values.
Yeah,
value-
exactly.
talking about like
values you can learn.
sitcoms and reality TV.
Yeah,
There was this, I would say, video essay type thing that a YouTuber did by the name of Super Eye Patch Wolf. He talked about, it's called the rise and it was the fall of the Simpsons, how it happened, and
Okay.
it is a brilliant video.
Check.
Yeah, and it points out how the Simpsons, like at the beginning, was so counterculture and so different from the norm, and because it was full of these Full House shows, and while they may be fine or whatever, they're all the exact same.
They
It's
are.
like, look at this, a brilliant family that you should strive to be,
yeah.
funny gay people. Like, and then the Simpsons comes along and they're like completely opposite, and they're what was that funny?
No, keep going, you're good. I can laugh and listen at the same time, man. It's all good.
That's just a throwaway. But and they show the animalistic parts of families and government and all this stuff, and that's what people liked, and that's what made them so popular. Like,
That's very true.
there was a Simpson craze. It's not around now, but
No.
it was huge, like Bart Simpson and all that crap. And then he described how it went from that, something amazing, to literally the things it was parodying.
Yeah.
If you watch it now, it's a sitcom. It's a reality TV show.
That's interesting.
The only funny thing is Homer's stupid.
Yeah, you always hear about The Simpsons going downhill and turning into something different.
It's
And also-
called Zombie Simpsons now.
Zombie Simpsons.
Yeah, that's the term.
Family Guy did it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Family Guy did that, and also, I think, I don't know if the fan base just sucks. I kind of fell out of it because everything became a pop culture reference. It wasn't.
Yeah,
It was barely
yeah.
a narrative. It was just an
So with
excuse
The
to get as many
Simpsons.
tidbits.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yeah, I saw that creep in more. Didn't also like little things kind of? Does Bart still get choked a lot, or is that kind of
Yeah.
down? Okay, cool. At least they got.
You know,
Well, at least
Okay.
he gets choked.
I always enjoyed
It
that,
was
like
a
how just
good-
nonchalant that was always. That was like their handshake,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
like
it's not
Bart-
The Simpsons without the father-son,
right.
parental abuse.
Yeah, and just how it, like whenever it happens in that show, it's like the rest of the world just doesn't give a shit. You know, like Marge never interferes. The people in the neighborhood never like. It's like this
That's
old
true.
kind of.
It's like, oh, it's happening again.
Well, it's a harkening back to like what it was kind of like in America. I'm not saying this is necessarily good. It probably isn't.
No.
But when we were used to just seeing like a father's like, shut the fuck up, Billy, like smack him over the head.
Exactly.
And not only did we not do anything about it, we didn't care because it was the
Exactly.
norm. It's like, yeah, Billy was being kind of a shit, and yes, a lot of that was just too much. But also a lot of it. I'm sorry, I've met a lot of kids these days. Pretty necessary. I see like overly soft parents, right? That, and I'm not saying it has to come from physical abuse.
No, it doesn't, no,
But
no.
just be a little stern every once in a while. So
yeah.
be clear, be real
yeah,
with
respect
your kids,
their
you know?
intelligence and say,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you're being a little dipshit right now. Your kid can understand that.
Yeah.
You know, if you just hit them out of frustration or don't explain why you're frustrated with them. But, you know, like, honestly, I do think people overreact when, like, if you just give a light tap over someone's head, like, fucking knock it off.
Right,
That's
right.
fine. That kid's fine. There's no tears. It barely reacts. It's kind of like, thunk. Like, kids are tough. You know, you
Yeah,
throw them
they're
against the
tough.
wall, they bounce. You know, they're...
Do they?
I'm not encouraging just folks. I'm joking. Do not throw your child into the wall.
Yeah, please don't hurt your kids.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to
but be
Beavis
real.
and Butthead
But be real
myself.
with your kids. You know?
Be real with your kids,
Yeah,
exactly.
Let alone Homer
And
Simpson,
Well, that's one of the
Don't
brilliant-
choke your kids.
don't
Yeah.
choke your kids, but you know that's not exactly what they're saying. Like that's like they're not promoting child abuse.
exactly.
It's making fun of it. Like
Yeah.
It's-
obviously it's
Yeah,
wrong.
which
It's-
is such a good thing about humor. But
Yeah.
okay.
It's making fun of child abuse, and it's also pointing out how kind of normal people take it. No one in the show kind of reacts to it. They're just like, oh yeah, that's the thing. That's one of the brilliant things about that early show is how it reflects so well
Yep.
a lot of family culture that a lot of the media didn't want to portray in all their shows. That's why it did so well.
Yep. Yeah, and that Full House and all those sitcoms is a wonderful example. It's all just like clean.
And
It's so
they're not
wholesome.
bad.
It's-
Yeah. They're just a wholesome show. Look,
Yeah, but
Joey, he's
no,
fine.
I think you're right. They're not bad, but it does get kind of sickening after a while. If you actually like try to binge more than 2 episodes of something like Full House, you'll go insane. You know, even something as King of Queens. Like that's a later sitcom that was a little bit more edgy, but still at the same time, it's like, God damn, this is just too wholesome.
Yeah.
What family is this? Are they from Shangri-La?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying there aren't great. Like I'm a spoiled brat. I grew up in a super loving family, you know. But like when I was being a dipshit, at least I got a little rough love from it, you know. Like I was shamed, struck on occasion, nothing hard. My mom denies it for some weird reason. She's like, I don't remember hitting you. It's like, Mom, I don't even hold it against you. But for some
I'm
reason,
grateful.
She is. My mother's really sweet, but
Yeah.
she did like, and I even say like, Mom, don't feel bad. Like I so deserved it. I remember what I was doing.
Yeah.
I can tell you the story. I remember.
Yeah.
And I remember because my mom hit me, and that's why I think she's a great mother. Because I stopped doing this shit after that. There was one night, I don't remember why. I just remember this scenario. I was still living in the Netherlands, a little kid. I think I was like 5 or 6. We're having dinner, and for some reason, I just didn't want spaghetti that night. I was just being a little shit. I don't want spaghetti. We had spaghetti a little while ago. I'm just not feeling like having it again. And my mom was just like, well, you know, tough shit. We're having spaghetti, right? So instead of getting in my chair, I just grab my chair and throw it on the ground. Whoa. And my mom's just like, whoa. Not like even that dramatic, but just kind of like pull out, put in a weird angle, and drop it.
Wow.
And my mom's just like,
The attitude.
all right, well, pick it up and sit down. I pick it up, I drop it again.
Oh.
And I'm just like, and like, it just goes silent, and everyone's kind of looking at me, you know? My dad's giving me the look like, dude,
Don't
don't fucking do it, you know? Because when he got mad, it was scary because he got mad so rarely. This was just, he was just seeing like, you're pissing her off and being a little shit. This is not going to end well for you. So he's giving me that stern but loving, like, stop.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
nope. I exploit my parents' patience, pick it up again, drop it, and then she's just like, okay. And real matter of fact, like, too, like, I don't even remember her approach being that scary. I was just scared because I knew I was going to get hurt or I was in trouble. And she got up like, all right, you know, walked around the table. You know, I tried to run away, but, you know, you think parents are invincible. They just have longer legs. So it's fucking unfair.
It's physics.
So yeah, she catches me. She takes me to my room, you know, and I get a little like tiny tap on the cheek. It was nothing, and then she just, it's the ass spanking. That was more of it. And the funny thing about ass spanking is not even the pain. I mean, like your ass can absorb a lot. It's just
Pretty
blubber.
resilient.
But it's the
the shock,
humility.
right?
It's the humility. You know, you're laid on the lap like a fucking dog and just smacked. You know?
Yeah.
And they were hard, and I remember that. It horrified me. Didn't really hurt that bad, but I was like, I really messed up. You know, thank God she did that. That's what needed to happen, or something like that. Like, okay,
That's the thing, is it depends on the kid.
right, that's true. Well,
It depends, because there
Kids are all a little different, I think.
that is true.
there-
That is true.
There are some people who can be ruined by, like, just nonchalant type of stuff. And it's weird. Because, you know,
I'm still getting over seeing my uncle naked. That's true.
well...
It's a vulnerable age.
yeah.
Anyways,
It's funny. It is funny how certain things stick with you.
Yeah,
From when you're a kid. Like you know, at the time you don't think it'll, you know, stick with you, and then later, years down the road, you're like, shit, I remember that. God.
Right.
You think about this moment, it's like so pivotal for you. And you're just
Oh
like,
man, I
that was-
stole that candy cane
I
from
think
my
of-
sister.
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And
something
I felt
small.
so bad. I stole my sister's candy cane at Christmas, and I just the guilt.
Oh,
The
yeah.
guilt I
It just
felt.
stuck with
It
you.
stuck with me. I think about it to this day.
How
And
old were you?
I was like 8 or something like that. But I felt so bad because my mom gave us all each one candy cane because we all, you know, that's what we had. And then she went to go do something and she just left it there. And I'm like, well, I'm just gonna take it. And so I took it, and then later she was like, "Where's my candy cane, Ben?" And I'm like, I felt so bad. And on the flip side, there's another memory that my sister remembers, but I don't remember at all. Apparently, we were on a trip to Montana because that's where my grandparents are, and she was waving, and she had a short sleeve shirt on, and she was waving, and you know how people have like a little bit of fat under their arm.
Yeah.
She was waving, and I reach over and I like.
Oh, God.
Like a kitten with some keys.
And I kind of
so nice to
I
tap.
tapped the fat under her arm that she was waving. And she's not even overweight. She's a skinny girl, you know.
Yeah.
But everybody has a little bit of.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of,
It's just gravity, man.
And I'm just like a kid.
You don't work it out enough.
Apparently, I saw it and I just like tapped it, and that horrified her.
Oh my
And
god.
she's remembered that ever since, and I do
Wow.
not remember that day.
I
at all.
fucking believe it, knowing you, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is so damn touchy. It's I can see it. It's and I'm
Too
loving it
much.
because I can just see it in my head, like young Ben, that same creep expression, like oh yeah, fat flibble flat fat. You know, just
Kids don't know.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about being a kid and like saying words that you didn't know the meaning of because you just saw a word and you're a kid. You don't know that this is a bad word. I'll just say it.
right.
And then, oh, apparently that's a really bad word. You
Right.
shouldn't say it ever.
But you need to give him the context, right? So actually, I have a good. I can't believe I didn't bring this up when you told that because I felt like I got kind of fucked over when I was really young.
Okay.
Like once again, going back to like when I moved here, I didn't know any English yet, right?
Right.
So I was
You came from
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Okay.
Yeah, and I was 7 years old.
I'm
Um,
dumb. What do they speak in the Netherlands?
They speak Dutch in the Netherlands.
Dutch. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with asking. It's better than, like I said, it's better than pretending.
They
Like
speak
earlier when you asked me, like
Netherlands.
with chess, right? It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's play some chess. I was like, yeah, I could lie and say I don't want. I was like, I'd love to. I don't know how. And it was.
Yeah. That blew my mind. I didn't even
I
think.
blow my own mind sometimes.
I
Like
didn't
I
think-
said, I used to play with my grandpa when I was really young, but I completely forgot, and I
Yeah.
am ashamed of it. That's my shame that I'd never picked it up again. But I'm only 30. I can pick it up again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Never that hard,
Easy.
right?
Yeah, no big deal.
But, so, anyways, when I
Play a game
moved
with you
here,
sometime.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I play a little chess.
that there's a different understanding in like how elementary school cultural vibes are in like the Netherlands than here, especially in Grand County, Colorado, like a
Okay.
little Republican town high up in the mountains. Great place to grow up, but some people are a little narrow-minded. I don't even remember doing this, but it was a whole fiasco. I said shit in class for something, and it's one of the few English words I really did know, because in Dutch, like the Germans have scheisse.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have a word for shit. Or like an aggressive slang for poop.
Really?
Right? So we just say shit. We just took it from the English.
Okay.
No problem,
Really? Oh, that's just the.
Yeah, so that's the word I uttered out, like not even like at someone. I guess I was just frustrated and I was like, ah shit. A little kid, and like I don't remember saying it. I just remember the reaction of my teacher, Miss Reedy. God, I hope she's dead by now. Anyways, and she just like, she was such a Reaganite. It was frustrating. Like everything that was different was frustrating for her. She just couldn't get her little medicated mind around it. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, her eyes just went wide, and she just like gasped like I just punched someone, So
Right.
I'm like, I don't know what happened, because honestly, in elementary school in the Netherlands, no one cared if you said shit. Really. It was more about like don't say horrible things about people or insult people, and keep the swearing down to a minimum. But shit was not considered a big deal, It's kind of at the level of like damn or
How
hell.
sensible.
Darn.
How sensible.
Yeah.
God damn.
So, but here, that was a huge deal. And here's the worst part. They brought me to the principal's office. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand the language. They
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sit me there. I feel like I'm about to get reviewed by the fucking Gestapo.
Yeah. You're
Sit!
About to get sent to a gulag.
Yeah, exactly, right? And they call my mom from work, and they won't tell her what happened. They just go, there's been an incident with your son at the school. You need to come to the school. And she's like, what happened? I was like, well, it's just best that you come here right now. I'd rather discuss this in person. And she's thinking like, holy fuck, what happened?
Right.
She races down. She gets there, we're all gathered in the principal's office. I'm sitting there in a corner of shame and confusion because I still don't know what the fuck I
As
did
a
wrong.
kid, you're like, what is
Yeah.
happening?
And then my mom walks in, and she's like, all right, what's happened? Did he kill someone? He doesn't look hurt, so did he hurt someone else? Your son. I know there's a cultural difference in the language barrier, but your son said shit in class. And my mom's jaw just fucking dropped, like, seriously? That's what you called me over for? And they're like, well, I don't know what it means in Dutch, but here it means manure. And my mom's my hero for saying this because her answer was, no, shit means the same shit everywhere. Like, and she shut him up. And like they're like, well, you know, do we want to talk about this? And I guess she just told him off. Like, no, I'm not punishing my son for this. Like, if you don't want him saying shit, you got to communicate that with him. You don't have to call me over to pick him up.
Yeah.
And it was over after that. They were scared of my mom since then. Thank God.
Good.
She does this thing where she bites her lip when she's mad, you know, and she definitely had a bit lip when she was coming towards the office. And I was scared because I thought it was for me. I'm like, no.
Right.
And it was towards me first because she's thinking like, all right, he's alive, so he must have killed someone, little fucker.
He's alive. I gotta kill him myself.
Yeah, exactly. And that happened. But that was told to me later, but all I remember is the reaction. I remember being there. And when I learned the context, that pissed me off too. And like, and I swear a lot. And I swear, I curse so much because I'm still mad about that. I'm still mad that instantly, without these people even knowing who I am, without even them giving me the chance to learn the language and integrate, that was judged for ever since. And this is why I kind of had like an evil moment towards her earlier. She was not nice to me. I was always the outside kid. She was very cruel. I had an easy time, luckily, because for some reason there were 2 teachers in that class. There was another lady, older lady, Miss Cook, and she was a goddamn angel and always looked after me and really helped me out. So thank God for her, because Miss Reedy was downright like a neglectful teacher towards me because I was different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I love that story. That's a good one.
Thank you. But, so that's why I swear a lot, because it's still like this giant fuck you to your stupid rules. I'm not a bad person because I use some words.
Yeah.
I'm not using them to damage or hurt anybody. I said it out of frustration because I dropped a glue stick or some shit. Like, it was something probably really asinine, but...
Really minor,
Yeah. So, anyways, that got me heated.
When did America become so sensitive?
Since the Puritans landed.
Yeah.
So always.
So always, yeah.
So always, yeah.
Since white people got here.
Stupid question.
I mean, yeah.
But no, I remember like getting scolded for swearing as a little kid. Like I remember saying shit. I guess it was in the house, and I got spanked over it, and I got grounded over it.
Grounded?
Yeah.
What, for a word?
Yeah, or I maybe not entirely grounded, but I remember like getting on timeout for like, you know, you said shit, you know, and getting spanked over it.
Your
so
mom
yeah,
swears like a sailor.
yeah,
Who is she to talk?
No, that's the thing. I sort of not called them out on it, but I remember, I think it was my cousin that I was talking to, and, you know, I was, you know, still crying because I was, you know, getting scolded over this. And I was like, but they say it! They're fucking hypocrites!
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking...
That's a load of shit.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
This is why I don't want to parent. Because I'm afraid I'll just destroy my kid. Because it's like, I don't know what to do. It's like, be me, but don't be me, but Like, you know, I don't know what positive aspect of myself I should pour into that kid and what part I should withhold.
There's a comedian that has a good bit on it. It was like, you know, I mean, you know, you just cook the same food you eat and just cut it smaller. You know?
Oh, shit. Now I'm going to try and figure out who that was.
Yeah.
It's almost like zoo. It's almost like zoo animal logic, you know? Just like, oh, what I eat in smaller.
I mean, and the comedian likened it to, compared it to
Jim Jeffries.
And he compared it to raising a plant, because you're not you know, you're not gonna die if you out of the sun for a couple days, you know.
Right.
We're different, right? But humans, you know, same food, cut it smaller, you know. And you can do that with you know, language too, and morality and all that. It's just. Do the same thing. Just make it easy.
You feel you're ready? You're ready to be a dad? You know what? It's like, same food, just smaller. I'm good to go.
It's the same food.
I got this.
Yeah.
All right, I take that back. That wasn't Jim Jeffries.
No?
It was a different bit.
Different bit.
Oh, no. We're going to get sued.
Well, whoever it was.
I corrected it.
Yeah.
Whoever it was, thank you for that. Yeah.
To go back a bit, there's something so effective about the dad who rarely gets mad, but when he does, you know,
powerful. Yeah,
it's for you've done something bad.
Yep.
I never had that. I had the kind of
I
I'm
guess
always
I
mad. Fuck you.
Oh, really?
Not fuck you, but you know, I'm authoritarian. Do what I say. If you don't do it, I'm gonna ground you. Whatever.
Hard line the whole time.
Yeah, very much. And it's effective, I guess, if you want to be like that. And it's whatever.
Right.
But there's I just find it's so effective to just be very calm, very collected for majority of growing up, and
Right.
then when it really matters, you're like, all right, no,
Yeah.
time to bring it out.
My dad was that way.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely calm a lot of the time, and then just the anger would come up, and then
What the fuck was that, Dad? Yeah.
I'm angry. And
You
then
barely see it.
Standing barrel the
you
sun.
don't see it all that often. Yeah. And then I kind of gained the same temper from him as well. I definitely internalized things a lot, and then all of a sudden
It just comes out. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, as I think some of the people here have experienced.
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Once you cross that line, everyone else is like, all right, now we know. Let's stop
Yeah.
whatever we're doing.
I feel like I'm a cocktail of my mother and father when it comes to my temper. Because like when I describe both parents, yeah, I gave you a teaser. My dad, like that's exactly how my dad was. The way you guys described, like
Yeah.
calm and then effective when he was mad. It was always for a good reason. You wouldn't just yell at you for dumb shit. But my mom's the same way. Her patience was just shorter, and she, did the right things. As parents, like, well, I'm just gonna deal with it because I don't want to put up with this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Fair. But yeah, she's quicker to react, so she's very opinionative. I get that crap from her, right? But like, I get from my dad when I'm genuinely mad, because I have a lot of people when I rant and shit, they think I'm mad. So I'm like, not even close. I don't like getting mad because I exhaust myself. When I do get mad, it's bad. Don't break shit, but it is just
Yeah.
intense. I
Anger-
feel like I'm coked up all the time. My heart rate just goes crazy, and I yell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anger
It's
is, like in my experience, is just the worst emotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible because you feel like you have no control.
Right.
You have no control, and then, like, when you get to the point where, all right, I'm angry, there's always two paths you can go down. You can either just get more angry, like you hit something. What's the next thing you do? It's either hit it again, or, all right, no more anger.
Or it's done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's either because there's no point to hit it again except to just be more angry, and that's what you want to do.
Right.
When you're angry, you're just like fuck, and just keep going, going, and you just do that until someone cries, or you're like, I'm done. All right. Or if someone's crying, you just do it more, and then, lose relationships. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's terrible.
That's always a shocker too, right? When you make someone cry.
Yeah.
Usually that would stop me in my tracks, but there have been definitely like relationship fights where, even with tears, it's
bad.
horrible. You really
it
when
takes
you
over,
yeah
right?
exactly like Riley said, it's really hard to control, and you hate yourself for it later. Like when you think back, like man, I was like, even if you felt like you were right to be upset with her, where you took it was never justified.
Exactly.
And I went that way a couple of times where they're crying. And it's just a sick animalistic part where you see like vulnerability. They're weak right now, It's like the army's in retreat. Do we let them go? No, we kill them while they're weak. Exactly. That's what you do in that moment, right? You
bad.
see that they're weak. Yeah, it is horrible. And in like predatory instinct, you just fucking go further and you go for that personal shit. And afterwards, you're just like, I genuinely hurt this person.
Yeah.
I supposedly loved. What the fuck is my problem?
Yeah.
I hate that. So yeah, anger sucks.
It's been around like maybe 2 years since I've got that bad, and it's fucking not good.
Right.
So glad that it's not bad. So glad I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst.
Not fun.
And it doesn't feel good. It's like it actually is like physically straining.
Yeah, it's
you
the
know, 'cause
worst
You get
feeling.
like the shakes afterwards. When you calm
yeah.
down. like-
Afterwards,
Yeah,
you're just
the
like,
shakes,
yeah.
afterwards, you're just so exhausted and you're tired and you're just like,
Right.
because now they're all upset and you're like, I want to be done now. I got it all out. Are we done? No. It's done forever. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Well.
Yep. But then you're with that one person who is a wall, and all the yelling you do doesn't matter, and then you
Yeah.
just stop. I think that's what helped
Yeah, you
me.
kind of give up after a certain point.
I got into a relationship where I lost. I lost every battle.
Mm-hmm.
You?
It's calmed me down ever since.
It's good.
It's just because she was strong.
That's a strong wall.
That's
Yeah.
a strong woman.
She is a
Knowing
strong
you.
woman, very strong woman.
Damn.
And yeah, she wouldn't give into that shit because everything I explained, she was aware I was doing. She was like, "You're just trying to pull me down. I'm not gonna let you."
Yeah.
You know, like, and she would just stand her ground. She would just play like a silent treatment, but not in a dickish way. You know, just like really like, give me the look, like just all body language, like. What do you want me to say to that? All
Yeah.
that dumb fuckery you just threw at me. What was that for? And then I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, and then I just shrink.
Exactly.
I think when you said, I don't have a point, you know, and you're just crushed, and that's good for you, you know. God bless those women that are just like, I know you're too weak to hit me. And if you try, I'm just gonna hit you back.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and she was definitely, you know, it's never a thought in my mind anyways, but like I definitely thought like I was scared of her sometimes because I ever thought like, because she did kickboxing and stuff like that, probably still does. You know, I was always afraid like if I make her mad enough with me being annoying, is she ever gonna hurt me? Because I don't know how to fight at all, you know,
Yeah.
and those legs were like power trunks, right? So I was kind of, yeah.
Damn.
And maybe that helped too, because it's like it wasn't just like I feel like an idiot when she would stonewall me, but it was also like she could hurt me.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was all that stuff. So I always think it's humbling experiences like that are always good. I always look back and even getting the shit kicked out of me when I was in 7th grade once, like was nice. And afterwards, I'm not
Exactly.
saying I'm laying
Yeah,
there like, yeah, I'm learning things, you know, but the way you feel afterwards, you reflect and you're like, man, what I said was kind of dickish. Can I tell one more story?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
About this is an example like when I got beat up. This was in 7th grade, and I'll admit I was a little awkward when I first moved here because we'd gone from the Netherlands, which was super diverse, and you know we had people from all over the place. It was normal to grow up with like Rwandans, Turkish, you know, Algerians. It didn't matter, Indonesians especially, right? So, and then to go to Colorado, where we had 4 black people in the whole county.
Right.
Right. One of them was my friend Dominic and his sister, and then the mother was white and the dad was somewhere else and out of the state, and like 2 twins, I think from Ethiopia, who worked at the grocery store.
Interesting.
So yeah, it was not a very diverse town, and and it actually got kind of unpleasant after a while. It was always kind of deep seated. You never noticed it when you were kids amongst each other, but like for some reason when puberty hit, my friends started getting really kind of callous and eventually semi-cruel and then borderline racist with my friend Dominic. And then just for sticking with him, I guess, or just hanging out with him still, I got cast aside too. And that was definitely a wake-up call like, I see what this is. But even with that, when I escape and I come here and it's Washington's, you know, especially the Seattle area, it's like it's awesomely multicultural. You have people from all over the place here, right?
Yeah.
So that was like, it was actually an exciting explosion, but my problem was I was naive to it, you know. I didn't know like the weight some people felt with whatever discrimination, blah blah blah. So it was yeah, and I'm not saying I justify acts of violence, but like I can see like what triggers those emotions, right? So when I was in 7th grade, I got a Beatles haircut. And I hated it, so I shaved my head. It was disgusting, right?
Oh,
It was because we were, like, I didn't want the haircut. We went to like a barber who was an old man who you can tell never works with kids and hated me being there. So he's like, "Ah, here you go. That's what the kids like. Get the fuck out of here." And I just saw that, you know,
Bowl cut.
upside down jelly bowl cut, and I was like, "That's going." So I was a skinhead for a couple days, right?
Yeah.
And all that happened. I don't know. It's such a weird moment of miscommunication, but it sticks to me forever because of the humiliation it made me feel. And the confusion was I passed by a group of black kids, like about 4 of them, going on my way to the gym, and I didn't know them. And one of them just like puts his hand out to like do a fist bump or a handshake or something. And I just didn't do it. I just didn't want to do it. I just walked past like, I don't know you. And I'll admit there was a bit of attitude there, you know.
Yeah.
And then and he turns around and, you know, suddenly he notices my shaved head and that I'm white and goes, "Fucking skinhead," you know. And like an idiot, I decided to play along and go like, "That's right." That was the dumbest thing I did. Because even though I'm trying to play it off like, "Hey man, I'm not offended by what you did. Sorry, I didn't shake your hand, but I don't want to shake your hand." You know, like, what's your problem? So I was kind of moody too. Like, yeah, that's right. I didn't like say Zeke Heil, but you know,
You were playing into their
perception,
remarks,
exactly.
thinking it's like as kind of like a joke in a way. Like,
exactly. Well, big mistake.
Yeah.
They did not like that. They did not like that at all. So second day, I go down the same path. Suddenly, a stick, like it was a broomstick, I think, goes around my head like that, and I get pulled back. Shit. It's up against my throat. They pull me back on the ground, and they just start kicking me. Like one of them's holding me down. I'm just like, ugh, and I can't fight worth a shit. So even if I was loose, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So just lay there and take it, hope it ends, right?
Yeah.
And and then like one of them just says, "Think you're funny now," and he just runs off. They're all gone, you know. I'm just like
Jesus.
bruised and like, what just happened, you know? And that's what made me think about it. Like, how did I piss them off so bad? You know, it was frustrating. It's like, and I was constantly trying to wait, but like I you know, and it was a good lesson for me. Like I can always, I still don't agree with their reaction, but like thinking about and kind of understanding the weight of it, you know, because like I was talking, I think, not to you about it. Oh, actually, with a different friend entirely the other night. But it's like I hate like racism across the board. Like whether it's white supremacy, black supremacy, it's just pure fucking ignorance. But like I can understand sometimes that it's different. Like when you're, you know, like a white guy like me or us, we're all white guys here. Yeah.
We are.
All whiteys.
Oh, thanks for blowing my cover.
I know.
There's like
what?
there's less like weight to words that can get hurled at us, you know, because there's not really much of a relevant historical, you know, problem for us. Like, yes, there's everyone gets subjugated somewhere, right? But for right here, ground zero, the United States of America, because of its colorful history with what happened, yeah, there is weight to that, and I had to appreciate that. You know, it's like, okay, like, and when you watch it, I mean, there's always people in the media fighting, right? Like, oh, it's police brutality blown out of proportion. I really don't think it is, because like you can actually just go to Seattle and just watch cops and watch how they react to different people, and it's telling and unnerving, and you can understand that like when people look at you that way just because of what you are, that's frustrating, right? So enough of that like deeply ingrained, and all it takes is a little bald-headed white boy not shaking your hand. You call him a skinhead and he says that's right and that was too much.
Yeah.
Boom, that's what tipped him over the edge, right? And it's like I just had to think about that because I didn't want to hate the kid. I didn't. I'll admit, part of me was afraid of him. It's like, does that make me racist if I hate a black kid? Which is totally stupid. No, if I hate that individual little prick, no, that does not make me racist, because he is kind of a dick. I'm sorry, but you can come up to me and talk to me about that. You don't have to get for your fucking friends like a coward and kick the shit out of me, you know? That's low. You're a fucking bully. But, you know, not tied into anything else. But damn, yeah, that was an experience, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah. I'm fine.
I think
No, well said. Yeah.
I think that's something that we all kind of have, which is, or people have this. It's being able to look back on something and reflect. Essentially, reflect is, yeah, okay, you were in the situation to where what you did was perceived as racist by this guy and not cool.
Yeah. Even if it was slightly.
Right.
Right.
You know?
Even if now in your mind at the time you didn't think that it was racist or maybe a little uncool, but not to the degree of worthy being punched, beat up for.
Right.
So if you just go about it like that, thinking like that, then I could see, oh yeah, no, fucking I hate black people because of that one incident.
Right, exactly.
That's what happens with people.
It is. It is.
Reflects.
Totally.
Whereas instead you took the initiative to reflect, oh yeah, let me think about the situation.
Yeah.
Or I just shouldn't have done that. You know.
Yeah,
Right.
That's huge. That's really big. That's that you did that. You
Reflecting
know?
is very
Being able to
important.
look back and yeah.
I mean, maybe the Colorado education kind of helped. That's kind of why I put in the story, was seeing that. You know, like this group of friends who was fine with this kid Dominic. We all hung out together. We grew up together, and then suddenly he's like ostracized. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
And and they had that awakening in them, and that was kind of a scary thought. So it was nice to come here and see that it's kind of gone, but then also frustrating to learn, like, no, this shit's here too. It's just,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you just gotta look
shots
for it.
fired all directions, and just stay out of that battle, I guess, because it's just ignorance.
Just double check.
It's different for people.
Yeah,
Everyone.
exactly. So, but I just hope, I don't know, but yeah, you're right, like, to make that blanket statement to judge.
Yeah.
The analogy I like to use for like racism, why it doesn't make sense, is because usually when it's personal experiences with people, it is like an incident that makes them decide this whole thing. You know, if it's just propaganda, you should be ashamed of yourself because you're just swallowing bullshit and this is what you're basing your opinion off. But if it's an incident that happened to you, you know, say your sister was beat up by a black guy, right? To hate all black people for that one thing. That's like saying you own an apple orchard, right? You pluck one apple from one tree out of that whole orchard. Thousands of trees. You take a bite out of it. Oh man, this is a bad apple. Are you gonna burn down the entire fucking orchard?
Yeah.
You cannot apply that. It is illogical. You are seriously stuck in a tar pit of ignorance if you really think all people are exactly the same, based on anything. Anything.
Any one instance.
Yeah, whether it's
you can't-
race, whether it's a political party or an ideal or something like that. Like, that is just such a stupid way to think. I know I vented this frustration with Ben, a coworker where we both used to work. when she said all Southern people are racist. All people from the South are racist. I'm like, where the hell did you get that from? And she meant it. You know, and that's like,
Yeah, it's strange, right?
that's very strange to just think. You know, like
My
you're talking
friend-
about millions of people you don't even know.
My friend Darby grew up very poor in the South, and he now lives in a house with his gay husband.
Yeah.
And he's a furry. So
Yeah, it
That's-
doesn't mean shit.
that's
Exactly.
so the opposite.
Yeah, I know.
Being
I know.
a racist Southerner.
And same thing with it's ridiculous. And the funny thing is, we there's a friend in her circle who's from Texas. And it's like, does she even know? And
she was from
and
the
he's
northern
super
part
not
of
what
Texas.
he describes. You know, it doesn't matter. But you know,
Yeah,
like, that's what I'm saying. It just
They'd probably
those-
justify it like that or something.
Yeah, and yeah, I just you see it more and more. You know, or it's always more and more. You know, no, fuck me for saying that. It's always been there. I think we're just calling more attention to it now.
Definitely.
And that's the sad thing. So everything you were talking about, like when you said it's good to reflect, it's part of the nerdy reason why I love history so much. Reflect on it, because there
Yeah.
are things you can learn from it. Go, oh, maybe I shouldn't just blare out this opinion without knowing the goddamn context of the issue. You know. I think it was Bill Burr once. I don't remember when he said it or when it was thrown out, but he just said, oh yeah, I think it was a reaction to people not standing up for the Star Spangled Banner or whatever for the football game, and he just said, that offends me, even though I don't understand the issue.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that's one of my favorite things he ever did, and it's just a second because it's so perfect. That's what it always is. Just people react, but they don't even know the context of it. I think they just want to get hyped up.
Yeah.
Are we too bored as a society or something? I
Outrage
don't
culture,
know,
right?
but outrage culture,
Yeah, that's what
exactly.
people call it, yeah.
He was doing his special in Texas. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And he,
Okay.
he dressed up all in, Texas attire, and he brought up this thing, and then there was a little bit of start of a boo in the
Oh,
crowd, and he's like,
gotcha.
I'm upset, even though I don't know the
It's the
issue.
yeah. But it's
And
true.
calling them out, and it's great.
Just because he did it in a southern accent, it applies to all people.
It does.
yeah.
You know, it's don't take
He's
it so
mainly doing it to
personally.
them, but,
He was in the South, he has to play
Yeah,
with his
exactly,
audience.
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Topical.
Do you hear I forget where it was. It was someplace that had a big football problem. I don't know. Wow,
The
this is
football
amazing.
problem.
It was some football thing happened, and shut up.
Sorry.
All right, it doesn't matter. What happened was Bill Burr at the end of this horrible set with a bunch of other comedians where the crowd was just booing or whatever. He was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna shit on you guys for 30 minutes," and he did. And it was just constant. I hate you. You guys suck. But more comedic and
Right.
Damn.
To the audience.
yeah.
For
I
30
think
minutes.
it was like 10 minutes.
He roasted the audience.
Yeah. It was just straight that. Because all right.
Damn.
Yeah, he was doing a set and then
Were they just booing the whole time?
something along those
Something
lines.
like that.
And then he was just
Okay.
like, "Fuck it. You know what? I tried to do this, but I don't care anymore."
Right.
And the whole thing's online. It's 10 minutes of just Bill Burr shitting on these people, and they're not really applauding.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are booing. And some of them are clapping because they're like, "Yeah, roast us."
Yeah.
It's
Because
just constant.
there's something fun about it.
I
Yeah,
love
definitely.
that. I've always wanted that as a birthday. Just have a roast. I would love it.
Roast you or you
Yeah,
roast
no,
people?
roast me. I
you.
love it.
Okay, wow.
I love roasts. They're just.
Let's just roast
Well,
each
let
other.
me know when.
It's like
Tell
hard.
us while we're at it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's reflecting on yourself, but in
Yeah.
a perspective that's not your own.
And it's helpful because sometimes you don't actually really think. Sometimes you need the outside to point out, when you do this, it's a dipshit move. And you don't think about it that way. Sometimes you're so validated in yourself, yeah, I'm right for doing things this way. But it's good to have someone, because Ben's pretty good about that. When I'm being a dumb shit, he'll just kind of eloquently yeah, I don't agree with that's kind of dumb. And
Yeah, I like to slide it in.
Yeah.
Just kinda
it's
yeah, but
nice and gentle.
yeah.
But it's good. It's a really subtle way actually. You drop hints hey man, fix this about yourself a little bit, because it's ridiculous. And I think this is something friends do in general, or people should do, But so I know I said we talked about the reaction culture right now, right, or overreaction culture, whatever
Outrage
you want to call it,
culture.
outrage culture. Thank you.
That's what it was.
Right.
And all these ideas that I had to correct myself earlier, say this is nothing new, which has been around for a long time. But one thing that I do notice that's kind of specific currently is this rise of like self-validation, or more like entitlement. That's what I wanted to say. There's so much entitlement behind a lot of these small individual complaints people have, right? And I don't understand where it comes from, or maybe it's complacency or something like that. But to not be able to take criticism is a big part of it, right? Like
Thin-skinned people.
thin-skinned people, yeah. And before I just go into saying people are thin-skinned and offending someone, like, oh, you shouldn't pick on people weaker, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't like the entitlement aspect of it. Why do you think you're so damn special that you have to be treated a certain way, right?
Yeah.
There's something Dave Chappelle brought up, and I don't remember what stand-up it was, but he was actually and quite eloquently responding on complaints he got from the transgender community for some jokes he made in the show a while back, right? And he pointed out something really simple that, you know, Dave Chappelle pulls no punches. I mean, the guy's pretty offensive across the board, but you know, we get it. He's joking, you know, like that's just how he is.
He's
very
Canadian.
satirical. He's very he's very
Oh,
crass.
whoa. It seems like that's their job.
And
Might
all he
be.
pointed out was something really, and he came out really friendly too, I thought. I mean, he still got shit for it, but it's like, I thought he was really eloquent and really polite about it and loving, honestly. But all he said was like, you can't just nitpick what bothers you because I'm roasting everybody. And then just to hear from one, you know, everything is fine. You know, I can talk about killing Jews or whatever, joke about that shit. But the moment I get to the issue that pertains to you, that's very egotistical. It's really narcissistic. And where does that entitlement to think that you are owed that, you know, that they have to consider all of you? Like where,
Right.
that's what I think is more on the rise. I think the ignorance, the hating, the you know, fear mongering has always been there. But this particular thing, the individual, everyone thinks they're so fucking important. I know because there's a lot of outlets like online to pump your fucking shit out there and get validations from hundreds of your dumb kiss ass friends who you never met. Oh yeah, you go. Like.
And a lot of colleges, not just fostering these ideas and like, I don't know, making these safe spaces and just, I don't know. I think a lot of these places are, from what I've heard, are, you know, letting this kind of idea, you know,
flourish.
Yeah.
And it's kind of dangerous.
That's why comedians won't go there anymore. Comedians used to go to their colleges and they don't go anymore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what you're doing? You're creating an army of Kanye Wests.
Ooh.
You
I
are.
mean,
It's
Rather profound.
No, it's true. Like everyone
yes.
gives him shit. Everyone makes fun of him. And I have a similar point with this Donald Trump. Everyone gives Kanye West so shit, and you know, whatever. I do think he's an asshole too, but he's not in my life. I don't give a shit what he does.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But why have such an opinion about him? Like most of you motherfuckers look in a mirror, you're the same way. The way you view yourself. You think you're so goddamn awesome. You always think you know better than everybody else. It's the same thing. He just has the audience and the power to express it to people, but he's just saying the same shit a lot of people feel. It's the same thing when people... And this is kind of... For me, this is more sad to say. It's a kind of real, kind of funny note, but with like Donald Trump. I know there's a lot of touching international relation like happening with the American people instead of the government with other countries in like Europe or whatever. Like, you know, they're saying like, it's okay, he doesn't represent you. But I think we need to, just like Donald Trump needs to be put in place, I think the American people, for the most part, also need to be put in their place quite a bit.
Ooh.
In our cushy throne of comfort that we live here. Like, yes, this country has a lot of problems, but compared to some places, man, shut the fuck up. You know? No, I'm serious.
You're right.
But to say this
Yeah.
with Donald Trump, saying he doesn't reflect us, I'm sorry, but I kind of have to agree that yes, he does. He reflects us perfectly. As not everybody, but a lot of people. Think about this. This could be you.
Okay.
Is that think about him? He lies. He's narcissistic. He spends way too much time on social media. You know, he just blurts things on Twitter and not Facebook, but on Twitter, any social media without any forethought. Just scour the internet, and that's what everybody else is doing. So yes, unfortunately, he personifies the general culture that is intoxicating this country right now very well. And that's something I think needs to be acknowledged. I'm not saying that, yes, we are just like him, that we have the same views, but we're embracing that attitude because he does the same thing. We're just playing along with his game.
The same patterns,
Exactly, being overreactionary, not really actually sticking to the facts to make your point, or being pragmatic. Just a noise when you hear something you don't like. I don't agree with it. I don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. Many of us are doing that. So, yeah, you know what? No, rest of the world, please criticize us. Say, yeah, he kind of does reflect you, you know, and that baser moment, that it doesn't matter what political party you're with, no one's immune to that kind of behavior. And we've all done it. You know, we're all to a certain right narcissistic, but
To get a word in.
yeah, sorry, I'm done anyways.
I would say I would disagree, but I would say that
How dare you?
unfriend, dislike, wrong. But I would
This podcast.
I see what you're saying. I get that because you know we're quick to judge this one individual to where he does represent, and I would say an aspect of the general public, general American people, whatever.
Yeah.
Because that type of attitude, that type of character does exist in many other people, and the things that he does, you know, I'm not gonna tweet whatever without thinking about it.
Right.
There are countless people who do that as well. They are just not seen or criticized as much as him because they're not
in
president.
charge. And that's a very good point.
And so I agree to a degree. I agree he does represent an aspect or an extreme side of, you know, how social media has gone, how people kind of respond, what people respond to.
Well, I agree with you. It's really the same point. Like I'm saying, like it's how he communicates is what I was saying. Like that's why I said like it doesn't matter what your political opinions are. Like with your, I'm not saying all people are like him.
Oh, yeah.
That they're that cruel, you know, and that childlike, but that way of communicating, you know, outrage culture. That was called, right?
That's what. Yeah, outrage culture.
You know.
And with that outrage culture, you know, thinking about it that way, it's outrage, it's rage, it's hate, it's getting angry. Just like we were saying before, when you get angry, you get taken over. You do these things,
Right.
You know, all this gut reaction and immediate hate that we put on social media. It's just another expression of you know, this anger that people have. You know, so. And we see it a lot with what the POTUS does, but we see it a lot with what people do. But it's just a thing that people do, not just what people are always thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Exactly.
I wouldn't say it's a bad thing.
Which one? What part of it?
Just like getting angry and posting stuff online. I don't think that's a bad thing. Because I mean, I know it's been said before, but we don't really understand what Twitter and stuff is to like the you know, its full extent.
Like what it's for.
Well, no.
That's a question I've asked for a while. No, like generally, I just don't really know what.
I think, well,
we
we
don't
should
know
say that
what it's
like
for,
Kevin
what
and
it
I are
is.
not on Twitter.
Yeah.
we
So
don't-
it's a matter
we
of
don't-
appeal. That's all I'm asking.
I'm
about
on
that.
Twitter.
I'm on Twitter, yeah.
And how often are you guys just like?
I have posted maybe 2 things to my own self. I just
You retweet and
I just follow people
follow,
and I
okay.
like things and that's it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I followed Donald Trump just so I can see what's happening,
Right.
just to see what he
His
says.
version of what's happening.
Well, because I was like, oh man, this was back before I
Mighty
was.
Ducks are in town. Super psyched.
This is before I was at all into politics, which was last year. So I was just going off of what people were saying about that guy, and I was like, oh man, is he really this crazy? Let me just get a Twitter and they weren't very off.
No.
Okay, weren't
what
very
I
off. That's
said.
interesting because I'm not on Twitter. I don't follow Trump, and so I only see the headline tweets. You know,
Right.
I don't know what he's like on a regular basis. So what is it close?
He's like that
To the-
kind of on a regular basis.
Is it-
He pretty much is, yeah.
Not always, but mostly, or just like
I would say
They report them.
I
all
would
the
say
time.
mostly.
Yeah, in headlines, you're right, but you always see them. I
It-
mean, a tweet is a headline in its own.
One of-
It's not going to be a novella. It's always just like a couple
Up and up
sentences.
and up.
Yeah, exactly. So it fits in a headline.
And-
And Trump tweets, boop, and you got it.
that's true.
That's all you need to
And
know.
it keeps happening, so
Yeah.
it does feel kind of constant. doesn't it?
Constant.
Let me I
You can go on it right now.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not.
What's he
I
saying
just
right
want
now?
to bring this up because I also gotta go soon. It's almost 9 and I go to sleep at 8.
Oh crap!
But
Oh, now everyone knows your bedtime.
one of the funniest things that's happened is on January 1st. I'll just read the whole thing because
Oh.
it's funny.
Okay. Is this what we're ending on right
We could.
Sure.
now? All right.
It's a fun note.
Oh,
This
okay.
is in all caps, by the way.
Okay.
This
all
is
right.
by Donald Trump.
Can't
It says,
wait.
Happy New Year to everyone, including the haters and the fake news media.
Oh yeah.
2019 will be a fantastic year for those not suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Just calm down and enjoy the ride. Great things are happening for our country.
I love the calm down and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Like, it makes
Oh.
sense when Bill Hicks says it, but not when Donald Trump
Not when the
says
president of the
Yeah.
United States is. Yeah, that's great.
Because Bill Hicks said the same thing. You know, it's just a ride, but way different context, way different meaning.
Yep. Yep.
And another thing too is that you could be this sort of egotistical person.
Mm-hmm.
You could be this person on Twitter that's like tweeting a whole bunch of shit, but it takes another person. It takes also yourself to listen to your fan base, and there with Donald Trump's tweets. There is like you have to scroll down. You have to really scroll down to find like a compliment to Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. Maybe
Oh, Jesus, I've been at this for 5 minutes. There's gotta be one.
My fingers. Oh, sore.
maybe he's just doing the thing that maybe we all should do, which is post and leave it alone. Don't even look at it.
I wonder.
Walk
So maybe
away.
he is doing
See-
the best
See
thing.
what they think about
All
it.
right, no, all right.
If maybe
Don't
if
wanna-
those fucking words have value of any kind, because we're not learning anything from the guy. Because it is always just,
I mean,
it's just shit talking. It's politics is like the Maury Show now.
Oh my fuck.
It is.
Not,
Look,
no, no,
we
no, no,
come
no, no,
we
no.
come full circle.
That's fine.
We come from the
Wasn't
beginning to the
intentional,
end.
But I'm glad it
Yeah,
happened because
yeah.
it makes sense. It's the same thing. You're just putting people on stage and it's just yelling at each other. That is it. Politics.
Yep.
You barely hear about anything getting done these days. Just things.
Oh man, we got to get someone better in office. At least we are above the bar, sitting on our
Right.
couch,
Yes.
watching them.
Oh my god.
Ugh, wow.
Thank you, Riley. All right. On that note,
was good.
I
My
think
hands
we'll
are really
call it a
sweaty.
night.
Yep.
So thank you so much. This was Kevin Smelt, the host. I didn't introduce myself, but who gives a shit? Ben
did.
Vanderharst, thank
Yep.
you again. It was such a pleasure.
yeah.
Riley,
Hello.
Babbitt, thank you so much for being here. It was
Amazing.
great. And Stephen Kaplan, again, thank you so much for hosting and joining. And,
sure.
and providing a really cozy environment to do this. So
It was a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun.
This was
So
good.
have a good night, folks. Or day.